The last 2 minutes. So you think that he'll be satisfied with something way less or something way more?
Who?
Your boy Money May.
What do you mean?
You said that if he's not satisfied with the ones that he should be satisfied. I mean, think about it. Now, this playing devil's advocate. He really don't need the money though. I mean, he's the richest athlete. What Forbes say he's the richest athlete last year? Or was it Tiger? Whoever.
Who doesn't need money, man? I mean, what are you talking about?
Legacy don't pay the bills, man.
Even though we're not talking about legacy, if he don't want no legacy, instead, if he's into the money like I say he is,
yeah.
The biggest money fight is Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
So what are you talking about?
His health, man. He don't want to look like Ali. Like you heard him. The man said he don't want to look like Ali. He don't want to look like all these other fighters that are damaged. Mm-hmm. And granted, his defense is well enough that he can dodge serious punishment. He can finagle around.
Against whom though?
Oh wow. Against Judah, against Cotto, against Corrales, against De La Hoya, against Mosley, against Hatton, against Maidana, MMA Maidana, against who else? I really don't know all these dudes. I'm gonna lie, most of them are Hispanic. Not saying that they lesser class, but and granted, I think Pacquiao has been in more grueling wars, but the man's hands is being broken and brittled up.
Mayweather don't want to fight black fighters because he know that black. Oh yeah, the fifth black fighter was Chop Corley.
Oh yeah, DeMarcus. Yeah, Chop
Corley.
Yeah, you're right.
And even though he beat Chop Corley convincingly, beat the crap out of him, there's one punch that he caught Mayweather with, when Mayweather almost fell out the ring. And Mayweather,
went up under the rope.
And he went up under the ropes, and he was like dazed from that, but he recovered. But Chop Corley was a journeyman bum. They even said it before they walking in.
Tomato can?
It was a tomato can. They even said it like, yo, he's such a, So, even Emmanuel Augustus, at the time, because they talk about how he got 28 losses. At the time when he fought Mayweather, he had 15 losses.
Do you think an over-the-hill 37-year-old, Mayweather's 37 now, over-the-hill 37-year-old Ali will fight some young, hungry champion like a Keith Thurman?
Who?
Muhammad Ali.
Why not?
Well, he did fight the Spinks dude, right?
I mean, what are we talking about? You think Mayweather? You think Muhammad Ali will fight? I mean, who Muhammad Ali won't fight? Who you talking about? What do you mean? Whether he was old or young, who he wouldn't fight?
I mean, because I'm just trying to compare it. Because Mayweather, at his age, he's slowing down a bit.
But let's say Ali at his age, even though he was slowing down a bit, when did it show that he started picking and choosing fights at any time?
Never.
Okay,
never.
So what are you talking about? What's questioning? So that's not even a question that you can't. You see, you're getting. It's kind of like getting the past mixed up with what's going on now, and those guys like there, it just wasn't even in their mindset to duck. It just didn't.
It didn't register.
Mayweather could. Muhammad Ali could have started that with Foreman, and rightfully so. And if he had done that, people probably would be able to understand it.
Yeah.
And gave him a pass for that.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was going to his funeral. Yeah. Because of the way he did Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and everybody else.
Everybody else.
You know what I'm saying? So you remember everybody was like scared. That was the first time in his career.
Yeah, Bundini Brown was in the corner crying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I can't believe. So if Muhammad Ali would have did what Mayweather doing with Pacquiao, they probably would have understood. Because they say, yo, he's 33. George Foreman's 24. They said, nah, I'm a guy to take this. And he was 33 in boxing back then is old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
And for him to do what he did and pull it off
with the KO.
I mean, just incredible, man. I mean, so they wanted him to do it because they're like, yo, why you fighting him? Like, yo, you act like I'm going to you act like y'all jumping in the ring fighting, man. I'll be all right. They look at it. If he'd have said nah, if he'd had the heart like how his trainers and them was concerned about him, he probably wouldn't have fought him, and they probably would have given him a pass. He wouldn't have been seen as the greatest, but they were like, I can understand, because that dude George Foreman was a monster, was a fucking beast. Yeah. He didn't ask for no test, none of that.
Didn't ask for adjust the ring size, weigh the gloves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't see that, but that was a different mindset. That's the mindset. We can't try to take the mindset from back then and try to just switch them up. I think if a Mayweather. Because his uncle and his father both fought in the 80s and probably 70s.
But they couldn't do that. That's why they got. Put it this way, man. If Mayweather was like his uncle back in the 80s and 70s, he'd have the same amount.
Same record.
He'd have the same record as uncles, man.
But Uncle Roger had what, 2 titles or something? 3 titles?
Yeah.
So you say Mayweather would have been like 40-5 in the 80s.
Yeah, something like that. Because I'm just thinking, man, it was brittle hands. Even though he got the defense, you know, Cats is quicker. Cats had more power. You know what I mean? Cats was.
You say Cats was quicker then, or they quicker now?
They was quicker then with more power.
Whoa!
Way faster then with more power.
You say in the 70s and 80s?
Yeah, it was way faster. Yeah,
and they would trip me out because guys be like, yeah, man, you know, I look back in them old 50s, man, and they say nowadays athletes. Now this is where I'm agreeing with you. I don't think nowadays athletes are quicker or stronger.
Yeah.
I think they got better drugs and PEDs and better technology to learn.
I wouldn't say that they got better technology.
They're better technology.
I wouldn't say better drugs, but I would say that the work ethic.
The work ethic, Cats was chopping wood.
Yeah.
They was training, fighting 15 times a year. I was watching Sugar Ray Robinson videos, man. I couldn't believe. And some of his older videos, he was doing some amazing, because you know, they say they don't have a lot of his stuff on film when he was a welterweight.
I remember Chuck was talking about that.
Yeah, but I think them older dudes, Henry Armstrong and LaMotta and all those cats, Kid Gavilan and Kid Charles, I think those cats I think they would go through a Nonito Donaire or all these cats is coming up now. Mikey Garcia, diss to them,
right?
But I just think they ain't built tough.
Yeah, like exactly because if you think about it, you're right. Because if you think about it, there's guys out there. I mean, the technology is better. That's the only thing I can say. But
you think back in the day they had PEDs? I don't think the skill level. I don't think the trainers, like Brother Hawkins, he said now we got trainers. He said back then cats had teachers. Right. They can give you a full, a whole, a holistic view of the whole sport, life, everything.
Right, that's true.
They could give you an honest opinion. He said now there's this trainers. You just paid to just give you a little CrossFit workout and all this shit.
I'm gonna give you a boxing analogy. You only being there watching the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And he said. We was talking about it just yesterday, or maybe the day before. Sometime this week. Yeah. And if you look at the players from back in the older school, from whether it's Jordan,
with the hot shorts,
Dr. J, the hot shorts, or whatever, the skill level is way better than these guys now.
Whoa.
Way better than Derrick Rose, LeBron James.
I just don't like the way they get hurt so easily. Because cats be getting hurt. I even noticed this in college. I never heard of so many ACL tears before in my life. Yeah. I said, man, what do y'all eat? Well, I know that food got GMO and all that crap, but
that's the food.
Why they get hurt easier? They flopping, Mo.
Yeah.
What's up with that, Mo?
Because it's not that tough. It's pretty much the technology that changed. They've made it more easier. Like boxing, you know what I mean? You don't got 15 rounds no more.
Oh, yeah, you're
They don't let you go to blood and guts. Back then it was more physical. You know what I mean? The physical bump with the defense and the fights and just more, You know what I'm saying? As
like
opposed
to primal just jungle.
Now you see LeBron and them crying looking for the touch foul because that's what it is. Back then the touch foul really didn't count.
It didn't count. No blood, no foul, right?
Yeah, no blood, no foul. You had big Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason and them dudes in it. And it was just, the mailman. It was just a lot more stronger.
Lambeer and Isaiah, Dennis Rodman in the 80s, the Bad Boys.
Yeah, and it was just a lot more skill and passion. Right now, these guys are getting paid, and they're like, okay, I got the check. So, I don't really have to work as hard. I'm already there. And it don't seem like they have the passion.
So you say that transferred over into all sports?
It don't seem like they have the passion to win a championship. So it transferred over like the NBA, even the NFL. They look how much harder they were saying back in the NFL.
Yeah, I remember I've been watching them Deacon Jones and what's my man from the Raiders, man? Jack Tatum. He put one dude in the hospital. And it's paralyzed. Daryl Stingley from the Vikings. He paralyzed him.
So you saw what Joe, one of my homie who did people say I look like Lawrence Taylor.
LT.
He
broke Joe Theismann's leg.
Like with that hard.
And he jumped over and brought him down and slapped it.
Yeah, it was real. It was crazy. You say so.
Nowadays you get a penalty for that.
But even you get a penalty for that, but you can still see that they're not even into hitting hard like that. You know what I mean? You'll get a penalty for that, but you can see that. You know what I mean? That was just accepted. That was just okay.
Well, I always talk trash about this. You think if boxing had a promoter like Dana White, because Dana White don't let you take no shortcuts. Right. He don't let you pick and choose. Right. The best man's gonna fight the best man. That's it. Well, I don't care what you say, John Jones. You fighting Gustafsson. I don't give a damn.
Right. If Dana White was the president of boxing, Mayweather would be retired if he had to fight.
Oh, no.
He already said it.
You don't think he would have fought Pacquiao?
He said it indirectly. How many times you saw him? Why are you talking about retirement? So I'll just retire y'all again. Remember? I'll just retire y'all. You know what I mean? Like, he's not saying it directly, but indirectly saying, if y'all motherfuckers try to make me fight Pacquiao, I'll just retire. But where does retire just came out of nowhere?
I'm just trying to think about the logic. Look, we man here. I'm trying to think about the logic. If he was talking about retire, why would he even entertain the thought of fighting Pacquiao? If he so-called didn't want to fight, why would he even entertain, yeah, we in negotiations, and he talking and lamping in with the sunshades on?
Listen, that's the thing about it, man. That's what's keeping his name relevant. Because he got people still thinking that he's going to fight him instead of him just, succeeded.
Throwing the white flag?
Or throwing the belts in the garbage or...
Like Riddick Bowe.
Like Riddick Bowe or who else? Who else did the ill duck? You know, like other people who just obviously duck, like when Mike Tyson was ducking Lennox Lewis, gave him $8 million to settle out of court so they won't have to fight in the body of the ring and all of that. Remember, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson listened to Don King. They said they didn't think he should fight Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis was like, nah, I'm going to take you